joining us. Did you already hit live? We're not live yet, muted? Am I fucking muted? Oh, I'm not muted. All right. Well, I thought I was for a second. Gosh, you just never know about these situations around here. We are back. It is Thursday. We have going to continue our great coverage of the National Football League. Last Thursday, we talked about the AFC South. So, in turn, tonight we are talking the NFC South. We had a heck of a show on Monday. We were joined by none other than Jim Behringer. We talked all things college football. Actually, he may try to make sense of all this. And then in the second half of the show, we talked our MLB power rankings. So if you want to catch any of that, please do so when you get the opportunity. But we are back tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in the boys. Let's join ourselves, Mr. Then Johnny Cruz.
What's going on, bro? Another great Thursday, another great division that we get to break down. I'm not quite old to be hanging out in the nursing home with Scott Cope, so I am not SJ Cope 1. He is a little better looking than I am, but I have more hair than he does. Nah, man, it's good to be here, man, and you say looking forward to, like I said, another great show with you guys, and we got a great guest to break down the NFC South. So it should be some fun, man. We're gonna have a good time.
Johnny, we haven't covered the AFC West yet, or NFC East yet. AFC East, Jesus, my brain's all over that. I've been like huffing paint fumes. I've been painting a deck all day, so my brain isn't functioning quite well. But how's things looking in Dolphins camp? Things going good for Tua? Is the taekwondo and is that paying off for him?
Yeah, the jiu-jitsu and the lifting that he did this offseason. I mean, he's gotten bigger. He put on like 15 pounds of muscle. He looks good. You know what I'm saying? They just finished the second day of doing practices with Atlanta. They play their first exhibition game tomorrow night against Atlanta. And from what all reports is honestly both defenses kind of held it down. So the Dolphins offense wasn't quite as sharp as they should be. It's preseason, it's practice, it's all good, but everything's looking good. A couple little nicks and bumps here and there, but for the most part, everybody's fairly healthy. Knock on wood. So that's all we're hoping for, is to get through this preseason healthy, man. But I'm looking forward to the first showing tomorrow. I don't think Tua plays tomorrow, but I just want to see my team out on the field, man.
Yeah, I mean, I ranted about preseason last week. I don't care about stuff like that, but I mean, you just want to see, hopefully, the guys, come out healthy and see what they can do. Right. So, I mean, we're going to get a good look at, the NFC South tonight as we break it down. So that'll kind of give you a heads up on what's going on. You mentioned at the top, Mr. Our own Hall of Famer, Mr. Scott Cope, joining us as well as always. Hey, Tanner, are you going to click the button?
Is he joining us?
I don't know.
I guess Tanner doesn't want me on tonight. For some
What's
reason.
up, Hall of Famer?
Not much. Patriots look really bad right now. So 13-3 in the third quarter.
Speaking of the Patriots, a guy from high school I used to work at, and I know his dad. Sam Roberts started today for the defensive line for the Patriots. He is from Waynesville, Missouri. Yep. Okay. He graduated not too long ago, and it's his second year. So I think he was a 6th-round pick last year.
Okay. I'll have to see how he does during training camp.
Yep. I thought last year he'd get cut, but made the whole team, made it all last year, and started tonight, I was told.
Hey, Bailey Zappi looks really, really good. 12 of 14 for 79 yards. It looks awesome.
Here it goes. Already in controversy.
Are we already in quarterback controversy?
No controversy. Mac Jones is the starter. Bailey Zappi. I'm saying that sarcastically. 12 completions for 79 yards.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 12 of 17 for a second.
No,
for like
12 for 14 for 79 yards. They look absolutely terrible on offense right now.
Well, that's midseason form for the Patriots. Scott, you're in midseason. How's the gambling going? Who we betting on tonight?
I took the Texans minus the 3. I just thought that the Texans would come in and they'd play really good defense, and CJ Stroud would give them a little bit of spark, and they're up 13-3 right now in the third quarter. So that's going well. I did the Phillies Dodgers on a parlay today. Phillies are ahead. Dodgers play later. That's about it. There wasn't much in baseball that I saw that I really liked. Even the Braves were playing today. I didn't even like them today, and they lost. So
yeah, I mean it's Thursday, so it's like that tail end of each of the series before tomorrow, where we pick up all new series. So
we're definitely gonna have to hear your picks for tomorrow, bro. At the end of the show,
you'll hear them on the outro. I was gonna do a Tampa Bay pick these next couple days, but they got shut out by the Cardinals tonight, 5-0. So they're not in good shape right now. So it's really bad baseball right now. There's just not a lot of teams you can rely on to
I feel like we're in that dog time too, where it's just like, right at the end of August. Wait till next month. September is the last sprint of baseball season. Mm-hmm. We'll have football kicking off. Not a whole lot going on.
My thing is this, guys, and I don't know if you agree or disagree, that once around the time NFL training camps, that baseball gets a little guys are tired, guys, playing every day. You don't
the dog days of summer.
Yeah, you don't see as many runs scored. You don't see as many pitches going 7 innings. They kind of go 5. So it's really hard to bet right now because you don't know what you're getting from each team. So.
Yeah, and speaking of, we don't know whatever we're going to get. That's our next guy. You guys know who it is, Mr. First Down Sam. We never know what's going to come out of this guy's mouth.
My friend was on a pod, and he hates that Nick. He tells me every day. What's up, Bubby? How are you?
What's up, Sam? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm making it, man. Just here Thursday, ready to talk some football, ready to chill with you fellas.
Last week we covered your division. This week we're covering the NFC South. I think the AFC South plays the NFC South. So how confident are you? How confident are you about breaking down this division tonight and your Titans going up against these teams?
I feel pretty good about it. It's going to be an interesting discussion we're all about to have. I was doing a lot of reading today, and I don't want to jump too far into it because we're all about to get into it. But we got some questions to be answered. Rookie quarterbacks to be playing. Baker Mayfield, is he even worth it? We got a lot to discuss really when we talk about the NFC South. Frank Reich in Carolina. I mean, we've got oodles and noodles, oodles and boodles.
There's some good storylines. There's some good storylines in the NFC South.
You said the quarterback. I think Scott said it on Monday's show or Off the Rails show. Every quarterback in this division's new. Outside Desmond Ridder has the most starts for his team, and that's like 4 for the Atlanta Falcons last year. Everybody else, new start. Baker in Tampa Bay, new. Bryce Young in Carolina, new. What's the Saints quarterback? It's
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr new. So like they all three got new quarterbacks. Outside, and now Ritter's got the full season. So man, we're gonna be breaking it all down here just a little bit. Let's bring in our producer, none other than Tanner Dawson, Mr. Buffoon himself.
Yeah. What up, Tanner?
What's going on?
Tanner, what's happening? I know you said you had a rough day on the job, but we're glad you're here today.
I'm glad to be on. I can tell you that much. Scott, I gotta get a blanket, dude. I need something. I need warmers, hand warmers. I need something, dude. Because my bets have been cold like no other lately. It has not been pretty on my side.
Well, here's the thing, Tanner. I'm starting to gravitate away from baseball now because football started, so I'm more paying attention to football. So I usually put in like 4 or 5 bets in baseball. I'm down to like 2 or 3 a day, if that, because, like I said, football's coming, and that's the king of betting in the United States right now. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's the way I'm going right now.
I don't like low energy Tanner. I like high energy Tanner.
Before we bring in our guests, I wanted to ask you guys something. I meant to ask it on Monday, but I forgot just because the topics were so good. And
see, you done pissed Tanner off. He said, I'll just leave then.
Oh, he's back. I just thought he was taking a long pull, you know.
Well, who knows? I thought that could have been my shitty internet again, so cutting him out. So, but the U.S. women's national team already out of this World Cup. Like, you guys surprised? Because I was surprised. My daughter asked me a couple weeks ago, like, Dad, are you watching the World Cup? I said, yeah, but I'm not quite as intense as I am into the men, because the men, I know I always expect us to lose. So I always think we're going to lose like right off the bat. So I'm always like heavily into it. The women, I'm like, we'll get there to the title game, and I'll watch us in the Final Four and we'll dominate. But here we are, first game of elimination, and we're out. You guys surprised how disappointing it was.
I work with somebody at work, a woman who follows soccer religiously. And she said this was probably in her memory, one of the worst United States women's national teams that she can remember. And it was not surprising that they got knocked out. She in fact thought they might get knocked out in the knockout stage, in the preliminary, the group stage.
The group stage, yeah.
Yeah, so she was not surprised at all that they got knocked out. She just thought the chemistry was not there with the team, and B, the talent just was not up to par with other countries. So
they couldn't score. I felt like that was a struggle. You look at their ties and losses; they couldn't score. And now we're sitting out. I know this team's young. They said there's like a bunch of 20 and 21-year-old girls. So yeah, I think it's kind of the changing of the guard type situation here. We're going to see like Megan Rapone and a couple of those, not on the next go around. And maybe I was just World Cup fatigue because we just had the men's World Cup in December, and here we are. Now I already have the women. So maybe I'm just also fatigued out on.
Are we buying the chaos into that situation there? Like, whatever her name is, the Megan person, like causing the women's U.S. to lose. Are we buying that? Because I'm buying it right now.
I am 100%.
If you look at the effort that was brought up into it, that's where the issue comes into play.
I love you, Ed.
It paid
I think
like him.
With the team was like, we got to do it for Megan. We got to do it for Megan. Megan needs to win this last one before she retires. So it was just like, it was the standard. She's retiring, so we all got to do it for Megan. But they didn't believe any of that stuff that they were saying.
What was it, Scott? Was it a 0-0 tie that saved them or something like that?
That was the Netherlands game, yeah.
Okay, so they were celebrating like they just won the cup. They were in the stands taking pictures, and I'm like, that doesn't say 1-0, and I'm pretty sure I'd be aware if we're in the championship because everybody on Twitter would be going nuts right now. And I'm like, there's no way. I couldn't believe it that a U.S. national team was treating a game like that, like they just won the cup. It was the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Shame.
Yeah.
This last playoff. Jumping off stage. It was the Arkansas Razorbacks beating the Jayhawks, shirt off, ready to go, and then getting their ass kicked the next game. Like,
even the 3-0 game they won, Tanner, they didn't look impressive in that at all.
Yeah, they didn't look impressive at all. Like you expect the women's team, they're the back-to-back World Cup champs. They've won gold medals. Like this, you expect this team to make a deep run and be there at the end. Like if they lost in the title game, you're like, okay, hey, we got to the title game, but you couldn't even make it to the Final Four. Like you couldn't even make you barely got out of the group stage. And here we are just disappointed. Like, it's like, man, like Ed said that they finally got paid like the women, and then they lost the men and they lost their hunger. like maybe maybe we should cut the pay again, and they'll play a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Plus, Tanner and Nick, their coach looked uninspired. He didn't even look like he wanted to be there. I mean, every time you looked at him, he's looking up at the top of the benches they were in, or a clock or something, or TV or something.
Well,
they just were not.
He's begging God to save him.
It's like the attitude of the players, except for that one player that spoke out was like, "What are we doing? Why are we celebrating?"
He put Rapinoe on the field, and it's like he was giving her a kiss and everything else, and hugging her and stuff like that. It was like, what are you doing there?
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't understand this mentality in the soccer world very much, because you see it across seas and they're freaking it's almost football over there at sometimes, because they're just tackling each other. But then other times you see here, and I've never gotten into soccer, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to ask you guys if you guys were disappointed in it. I'm extremely disappointed. So
I am highly disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, more surprising than disappointed. I mean, you can't expect them to be dominant forever, especially like you said, with this influx of youth coming in now. So, but hopefully it's a lesson learned, and they'll be more prepared to take it more seriously for the next.
I do expect the dominance, though, Johnny. It's like men's basketball. I expect the men to go out. I expect USA men to go out and win the gold medal every fucking time, because we have the best.
I hear you, but
America.
This group obviously wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? And like Tanner said, you celebrating over. You know what I'm saying? Like you won the cup. On a game you barely squeaked by, so that just shows to me a little immaturity. So hopefully, like I said, this will humble them and get them ready for the next one.
All right, well, enough football talk. Let's get to some football. Let's get our guest. He is future president of America, none other than Ashton Booker T. Baby, can you dig it, sucker?
Up, Ashton.
What's going on, bro?
Ashton, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Hey, it's another day in paradise. Ready to talk some football with y'all brothers. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, perfect, my man. Perfect. This is the AFC South. I know you represent, or the NFC South. I know you represent Atlanta. This is how it works, Ashton. We're going to go team by team breakdown. Tell us if they win the division, and they won't win the division if. And at the very end, we'll give our placements. This is kind of how we roll. So we'll start with last year's defending champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending champions of this division. Man, this division was absolute dog shit last year. Everybody was 7-10, and Tampa Bay was 8-9, and still made the playoffs and won this division. So Tampa Bay, out goes Julio Jones, Sean Murphy Bunting, Akeem Hicks, Mike Edwards, and Carl Nassib. In comes Jameel Dean. They re-signed Levante David. Here comes Baker Mayfield. Obviously, Tom Brady having another retirement. It seems like he's gone for real this time. They bring in Chase Edmonds. The draft, I was surprised they didn't go quarterback. I mean, they get Cansey out of Pittsburgh, Mock out of North Dakota State, Yaya Dibby out of Louisville. There in the third round, and then they get Shakur Dennis out of Pittsburgh. Let me ask you first, Ashton. Tampa Bay wins the division if what?
No chance.
He shut it down. He's not even going to entertain the idea. Not even going to entertain it.
No, but let me explain why I say no chance, because Baker Mayfield, I mean, I don't think he's a stopgap quarterback anyway. I think he's going to start the whole season, for one. And two, Kyle Trask, I don't even know what he is yet. I mean, he wasn't even ready to be a good quarterback in college at Florida, so I can't really see him coming to Tampa Bay and just wrecking the league. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, they got these receiving core, bro. The receivers, the offensive line is still pretty trash. Their running game is still pretty trash. Their defensive line is okay, but the secondary is trash. So really and honestly, their team is borderline trash, so they're not going to win.
So they won't win the division if what?
Everything I just said is
All right, Johnny, we'll go with you. Tampa Bay will win the division if what?
I mean, they'll win the division if Baker Mayfield decides that he's going to act like the number one overall pick. There's still some. I mean, I don't expect it. Enjoy. Fucking head. Yeah, I mean, if Baker plays like the number one pick, they can win the division. I mean, they still have Mike Evans, they still got Godwin. They got Bray at tight end. The defensive line, like Ashton mentioned, you know what I'm saying, with Vita Vea and some other players. The secondary is pretty much non-existent. They lost a few guys in the secondary. Still got Antoine Winfield Jr. at safety. Like you mentioned, they re-signed Levante David, who he's, I think, one of the best linebackers, as far as his career. But yeah, Baker Mayfield would have to go off in order for them to win the division.
They don't win the division if what?
If Baker Mayfield realizes that he's Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't play up to his, because I'm with Ashton too. I mean, I didn't see nothing special out of Kyle Trask in college. There's reports that he's supposedly going off in camp, but you know how that is as far as beat writers in camp, so you never really know what's really going on. But yeah, if Baker turns back, like I said, realizes that he's Baker, then they have no chance.
Scott, what about you? Tampa Bay wins the division if what?
Tom Brady and Bruce Arians comes back and coaches and plays quarterback. No, the only way they win the division is Baker Mayfield becomes Oklahoma Baker Mayfield.
Right.
That's it. There's no other way I could see them winning the division. So.
Right. Well, either that or by default, if the rest of the teams just.
That's the thing. That's the division is up for grabs. Scott, they don't win if what?
They don't win the division if Baker Mayfield is the Baker Mayfield we've seen in the last 2 years, which is turns the ball over and can't throw a consistent pass down the field to Mike Evans. If it's just Godwin, him, and maybe Cade Otton as the tight end, then I think they're in serious trouble for winning more than 3 games this year. So
I'll come back to you for the fantasy and the betting game before we go to the next team, Scott. Okay. Sam, what about you? Tampa Bay wins the division if what?
Tampa Bay wins the division if Baker Mayfield actually wakes up feeling dangerous.
Ooh. Is that possible? I don't know.
No, he's dreaming. He's dreaming. He's dreaming he's dangerous. He have to reach such heights, right, Ed? Oh, anyway. But yeah, no, I just look at this team, and they have some pieces here, but I just don't see it. I don't think Baker Mayfield's the guy. I think their defense could still make some noise, but it ain't going to be nothing if you don't get points on the board.
All right.
And I don't think Baker Mayfield's going to do that.
They don't win the division if what?
They don't win the division if Baker just keeps dreaming that he's dangerous.
Tanner, what about you? Tampa Bay wins its division if what?
Look, Tampa Bay, it's not – you can go Baker, Kyle Trask, or John Wolford, for God's sakes. It don't matter who's there. What matters is production in the receiving routes because they got a pretty decent line in this play. Right. So the Tampa Bay Bucks win this division if Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are both 1,000-yard receivers. Okay? Yeah. That's the key right there. Yeah. They don't win the division because the front 7 of the defense collapses and is not the same like it has been the past 3 years.
I like that.
You got everybody there. Levante David, Shaq Barrett returning, along with Kalaji Kancey, again with Via Veda. That should be a dominant up front there, outside of maybe Greg Gaines, for God's sake. But, you can still get around with that with some depth there. That front 7 collapses on that defense. The Bucks lose their shot of even touching this, sniffing the lead in the division.
Yeah, this team is just, remember this 2 years ago, I guess 3 years ago now, is just removed from winning the Super Bowl. Yep. So, that defense was still really good. So I'm going to say Tampa Bay wins this division if that defense can get back to that Super Bowl caliber defense and Baker doesn't turn the ball over. The thing is, Baker, remember, the Browns made the playoffs with Baker Mayfield and won a playoff game with Baker Mayfield.
But you know who ruined him, right? You know why?
The Chad Henne quarterback sneak.
Because Chad Henne did Henne time on the Cleveland Browns, and then it just ruined the Browns. Just like the Chiefs have done to Deshaun Watson as well. So
no, you're right. Chad Henne, they were like a 1 yard away from, you know what I mean, a Chad Henne quarterback sneak.
Well, it was the rollout. It was the play action to Tyreek and just the short yard. It's exactly the same play we ran 2 quarters ago to that play. So just time with Chad Henne. So
are we saying Chad Henne's the kiss of death from The Godfather? Is that what we're saying?
Did you not see his run either in that playoff game? That's the guy that was like, it was like he was 20 again. And I'm like, dude, you're like 38. What are you doing? But go for it.
They don't win the division if Baker Mayfield leads the league in interceptions and he's turning the ball over. He's got to, and I'm worried because this Bucs team doesn't have what that Browns team had, and that's a heck of a running game. Baker's got to have great running backs, got the play action, but we will see. I agree, Kel. This I think could be the most wide open division in all football.
Well, I do think Chase Edmonds is going to have a better year than he did last year. They got Jones in house as well. I mean, again, you know what I'm saying? The offensive line is a good offensive line.
Who?
So, I mean,
all right.
They have opportunities there. You know what I'm saying? They have some playmakers there, but
no.
I mean, do you trust Baker Mayfield to like do anything?
The president's shutting it down.
I'm confused. Who's Jones?
What were you saying? Press?
No, they don't have Julio.
I said
no. Rashad. I mean, the running back.
Rashad White. Yeah.
Rashad White, and then they got, like I said, they signed Chase Edmonds as a free. I don't think he's done, bro.
This is a Rashad White show now. It's not an
no. I'm just saying as a saying it's kind of in the mix as far as running. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Lenny. He should very well go back to Tampa. But
nobody wants Fat Lenny.
Ultimately, it falls back on whether or not Baker Mayfield can step it up.
What is it, Ashton?
You can't run the ball with the offensive line, man. The offensive line is trash. It's maybe the worst offensive line in the league. Like, it is horrible.
Thank God.
Baker Mayfield a little bit straight, and they can't run the ball with that offensive line. Like, it is trash. It is bad. Like, no, that's the worst team is the offensive line. Like, no, they're not going to be able to run the ball and shit. And they're not going to run the ball and shit. And Baker Mayfield, let them stand up.
Hey, the president has spoken. We'll get into the next team. We'll go with the Carolina Panthers. Everybody else finished 7-10, so it didn't really matter how we sliced and diced it. We know the Panthers traded up to get Bryce Young. They also bringing in DJ Chark, Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders, Hayden Hurst. So they're giving the kids some weapons. Andy Dalton as the backup. They bring in safety Von Bell from Cincinnati. Gone is Deontay Freeman and Matt Ioannidis. So it's not like they're missing a whole lot. They did draft Bryce Young, drafted Jonathan Mingo as well. Edge rusher out of Oregon, DJ Johnson. I mean, they had a pretty good draft. Obviously, the big one is, Bryce Young is their new quarterback of the future here. So, Ashton,
is that a water boy out there? Oh no, it's Bryce Young. Okay.
Ashton, I'm going to ask you first. The Panthers win this division if what?
Oh, Jesus.
Funky Cole Medina.
Got good people right here.
It was crazy. If Bryce Young is the best Alabama quarterback we've seen after the last 3, that means that's Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa. If he's the better of the 3 rookies, they can win the division because if Jonathan Mingo steps up and becomes like a real guy to go to this year. I ain't saying he's got to still be a bona fide number 1, but at least a threat to be a good number 2. They have a chance. I like their skill positions. I like the defense. It's pretty much would be. I even like the coaching staff. So they're a well-rounded team. They got the veterans in the right places. I like what Carolina's doing. I like that. I like the direction they're doing it. So yeah, Bryce Young and Jonathan Mingo could be really significant players this year. They have a shot.
Were you surprised they didn't stick with the interim and they brought in Frank Wright?
I really wanted Wilkes to keep that job because he did such a good job last year. But I think if you can get a Frank Wright, with a young quarterback, I think that was a better move for Bryce Young, Carolina.
Hey, Tanner, we'll go with you. We'll start with you here. Carolina wins this division if what?
Kind of going back to it, but if Terrence Marshall Jr. and Jonathan Mingo connect for the top 2 receiving spots this year.
Oh, God, Terrace Marshall. Oh.
Terrace Marshall.
I forgot to ask you. Let me back up. Go ahead, Tanner. Let finish your thought here.
Oh, okay. Look, I agree with Ashton. They made a lot of great moves here on both sides of the ball. They really became a more veteran presence instead of a really young team like last year. But they needed to get to that way. Frank Reich coming in, having Bryce Young as your quarterback. You knew what direction you were going in the draft, right? You knew exactly where you were going. That's why you had to bring in the coach there, Andy Dalton as a vet to help out Bryce Young in just the way the NFL is, because you know he's going to start right away. I love the Hayden Hurst pickup too, by the way. So I think the receivers are your key to winning the division, but it also falls back, just like Tampa, back to your defense. You know, can Justin Houston do it again where he has a little bit of jump, in that middle part of the season to help carry this team, help with the veteran presence? Shaq Thompson, can he be there? Of course, Burns will be there. J.C. Horn, can he step up and become that elite corner that we all love? I think it's less of the front half of this team for the defense. It's going to be more of the back half. It's going to be the linebackers and the corners, the secondary, of can they step up? And if that part right there, we can circle it around. If the second part, the secondary and the linebackers of the Carolina Panthers, if they don't step up and produce this year, you're going to lose the division pretty quick.
Scott, I want to ask you, go ahead and give us your gambling pick and your fantasy pick for the Bucs. I forgot to go back to you there.
So my fantasy pick is Cade Otton, and he's got the tight end position basically all to himself right now. Baker Mayfield will lean on him a lot earlier in the year, I think, to get him.
I question that, Scott. I question that because if you remember back when David Njoku got drafted, he was not relevant until after Baker Mayfield either got injured or he left. I don't think you go the same route. I don't think
they had Hooper there though too for a while.
Well, irrelevant.
Yeah, but I think that the way the Tampa Bay offense is going to be schemed up, it's going to be 2 guys, Godwin, Otton.
I'll go Godwin.
I think I would go Godwin as well, but I think Otton is going to be that guy that Godwin's going to work the one side of the field. Otton's going to work the other side of the field, and I think they're going to send Evans deep. So I think what's going to happen is Cade Otton's going to get a lot of catches early in the season, and then I think as Baker gets his feet on the ground, I think then he'll take shots to Mike Evans. But I think Otton could be easily a top 12 tight end early in the season, and then fade off.
If Trask is in, I'll go Otton, no problem. But if Baker's in, I'm kind of shying away from him on my side. So just throwing it out there.
So 2 betting angles with this. Tampa Bay over under wins at 6.5. Over is plus 120. Under is minus 140. That's number 1. Number 2, there is a prop. I go under 2. I don't think they're going to win 7 games. Number 2, Mike Evans has had 1,000 yards every season of his NFL career. Does he get another 1,000-yard season?
I agree, Kel.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like
Mike Evans is criminally one of the most underrated wide receivers in this league.
Yes,
he is.
Yeah, he's that good. He's that good. Mike Evans is that good, man.
Should be criminal.
Hey, Sam, we'll go back to you here talking about the Panthers. They win the division if what?
If they fully grasp Frank Reich's system. I was reading a lot of stuff in The Athletic that Frank Reich's system for the Colts and others were hard to understand, hard to grasp. And hopefully he's learned his lesson from that and he can make it a little more streamlined for the young rookie quarterback he's got under his wing. So I think the system, the coach's play calling needs to be in cohesion with the young QB he has. That's what I think.
They don't win the division if what?
They don't win the division if Bryce Young is not ready yet. Then they don't win the division. Doesn't mean he won't ever be ready, but he can't come out and just flat out start losing games with bad decisions. They drop 4, you might see the red rifle step in.
Ooh, I don't think so. I think it's Bryce Young all the way.
Yeah.
That's a short leash for a rookie quarterback you just drafted first overall.
They traded up to get him.
Frank Frank has made weird decisions
Peterson bad,
before.
dude. This has to be Nathan Peterson bad in 4 games.
Okay, I get all that, but Frank Wright made some really weird decisions with the Colts.
Some of that was, I think, the weird man upstairs.
Yeah,
Right.
the guy's sniffing coke right
what?
now, so, you know.
I think before,
Could be.
Before I go, I think once you start Bryce Young, you have to go with him. You cannot pull him out.
Yeah.
You had to start him week 1 and let him go.
Unless you get 6 interceptions every single game, you let the guy go.
All right, are gone are the days then that you don't worry about this guy's self-esteem or anything like that.
Welcome to the real world. Here we go.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works that way yet, boys.
Peyton Manning went 3-13 his first year and led the league in interceptions.
That's true. He sure did.
How his self-esteem go?
Can you?
Okay, but not everybody's Peyton Manning either, man.
Here it is, right? If you're a rookie quarterback nowadays, you're expected, especially if you're drafted in the first 2 rounds, you're expected to step up right away. That mentality, you got to have that dog mentality right away. If you lose that dog mentality, you lose an inch of confidence, you're done for the league. You're done.
Do you really?
Do
you really think Tepper, being as patient as he is going to be okay with a losing season?
As long as it looks good.
I don't think so.
I mean, I think if the kid is showing progress and they've realized, okay, yeah, we found our quarterback, even if they have a losing season, but they know, okay, he's the guy going forward. I think he could be all upset about it all he wants, but I mean, he's got to be realistic at the same time too.
Supposedly, that's not a fact, Kel.
Yeah,
we don't
GM.
know.
He's the slave mode now, so
the Ballard.
poor Ballard, dude.
Scott, hey, I mean, Ballard didn't want. Hey, Irsay, if it was up to Irsay, Saturday would still be the head coach there in Indy. So, Ballard was like, "Hail to the nah."
I don't know about that, Kel. Anyway, go ahead.
Hey, go ahead, Scott. This Carolina wins this division if what?
Carolina wins the division if Bryce Young is the best quarterback in the NFC South.
Woo! I like that.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah,
like
because he doesn't have a lot of competition in this division to overcome. So, and they lose it, and they do not win the division if Miles Sanders does not perform like a number 1 running back.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Johnny, what about you? Carolina wins this division if what?
I mean, they win the division if I mean, I'm gonna go away from Bryce Young. They win the division if this defense takes the next step and can be a dominating force in that division. They got a lot of good young talent. Tanner named a few. Besides Burns, you got Derek Brown in the middle of that defensive line. You got Jeremy Chinn. You got like you mentioned, Horn out at corner. If that defense steps up, you know what I'm saying, and actually can be a top 10 or so defense because they've got all the athleticism. They got players on that defense. It's whether or not they can put it together, take the next step. I think if that defense can be solid, especially in that division, I think they can win it. I think they can win it if the defense takes that next step. They don't win the division if Bryce Young plays like I expect him to play, which is like a complete rookie.
Ooh, all right. I'm with you, Johnny. You took the words right out of my mouth. If that defense continues to elevate themselves, they got a really good young defense. They're building something there. They added some nice veteran pieces to help Young, Hurst, Thielen. Hey, a rookie's quarterback's best friend is a tight end, and Hayden Hurst has now done it in 2 places. Did it really well in Atlanta, and then he did it really well last year with Joe Burrow. And now he's going to do it again here with Atlanta, or not Atlanta, but Carolina. Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. If that defense continues to elevate themselves, they can win the division. But they don't win the division if Bryce Young struggles like a rookie and has a hard time or gets hurt. Because Andy Dalton's not going to be the answer. So that's
how dare you.
Hey,
the red rifle.
I thought they had a good draft too, like you mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Bryce Young, but I think Mingo's a player. The DJ Johnson from Oregon is a player, and look out for Jamie Robinson, a safety they got out of Florida State.
Jamie,
he's a good player, man. So you team him up with Jeremy Chinn. They got some good safeties there. That defense has a has a chance to be obviously the best defense in that division, and that's saying a lot with Tampa Bay there. But I think they have the athletes to do it, to take over.
And do not forget, Carolina was in control of that division with 2 weeks left to go in the season. And they lost to Tampa Bay, and they lost control. So they were in position to win it,
right?
And they improved their team. So I fully expect them to be in it as well this year.
Yep.
Scott, give us your fantasy and gambling angles on the Panthers here.
So my fantasy angle is Miles Sanders. I talked about it before. Miles Sanders coming over from Philadelphia. He was not a pass catching back. He might be this year. They might swing some passes to him out of the backfield. So look for some catches. And again, he's got to perform like the number one running back that Carolina is paying him to be. So in terms of betting angles, over under 7.5 wins. Overs minus 120, unders plus 100. I say over. I think they go.
I'll take the over. I'll take. They can get 8. They won 7 last year.
Yeah, I'm taking the over with them.
All right, let's get into Mr. President Booker's team, the Atlanta Falcons, also went 7-10 last year. Here comes Jesse Bates to the team, Lorenzo Carter, Bud Dupree, Mac Williams, Taylor Heineke to be the backup, Calais Campbell, Eddie Goldman. Gone is Rashawn Evans. Then in the draft, they went out and got Bijan Robinson, Zach Harrison, Matthew Bergeron, Demeco Hellmans, and Javon Gwynn. Booker, how you feeling about your Atlanta Falcons here?
I feel like everybody's sleeping on that team. If Desmond Ritter is competent, that's a 10-win team in that division. Look at the schedule. Look at the NFC. Look at their schedule. They don't have a hard schedule at all. I mean, if Desmond Ritter, he ain't got to be that good. He just be competent. Meaning he don't turn the ball. He don't lose. He ain't got to win. Just don't lose. If he can unlock Kyle Pitts, they might win 11 games.
Yeah.
So,
do you think they'll have a short leash on Ritter, or do you think they'll let him play it out?
No. They're gonna let him play this year because if he bombs this year, they know he get the draft quarterback next year.
Okay.
So they're gonna let him play it this year. That was the plan anyway. Even Mariota balled out last year. They go, this is gonna be Ritter's team this year, no matter what. So we already knew that. So it's time for him to do what he's supposed to do. Either step up or go sit back down because we got a team that can win this year. The Falcons have they fixed every problem in the offseason they had last year. They don't have a hole on this team anymore. Not one. And really, if Desmond Ritter can unlock Kyle Pitts, which I need to see, they ain't going to be better than most teams in the NFC. I mean, if you look at what they did in the offseason compared to what they did in the draft, I don't see a hole. They plugged up all the holes. Last year, we had a problem getting them to big play at the end of the game. That was a problem in the secondary last year.
The receivers. That's the question.
Pass rush was the issue last year. Pass rush was the issue last year. We solved both of those problems, right? All right, we had Drake London. Like I said, we went and got Matt Collins. A lot of people want to say how big of a signing that was to be enough 2 over there on the other side of Drake, right? And then you got – now, this was interesting to me because I don't think we needed – I think you drafted Bijan Robinson way too high. You didn't really need him because he's Cordell Patterson light. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if you have a package that has Bijan and Cordero on the field together.
Maybe they got a package with Tyler, Cordell, and Bijan.
That's what I'm saying. If you got a package with at least Cordell, Bijan, Pitts, and London on the field together with Matt, you got a package like that. I think that's a dangerous offense to try to figure out. That's a dangerous package of offensive talent to feel at one time. It's like they almost like the 49ers with that kind of package. With like Cordell Patterson playing like a Deebo Samuel type role. You know what I mean? So the skies, it's all up to Desmond Ritter if he can unlock Kyle Pitts. If he can not mess up. He ain't got to win, just not mess up. Kind of give me that. That's got his first year.
They don't win the division if what?
Yeah, Desmond Ritter leads the league in interceptions.
Okay. Hey, Scott, we'll start with you here. Atlanta wins the division if what?
Atlanta wins the division if Drake London continues his ascent up the wide receiver board in the NFL. I think him and Desmond Ridder had a huge connection last year at the end of the year. I think if Desmond Ridder and Drake London combine, and I'll throw Kyle Pitts in with that too, if all three of those guys combine to be the studs that they can be, Atlanta will win the division.
They don't win if what, Scott?
I think they don't win if Bijan Robinson is not used in the proper way, which is running the ball a lot and catching some passes out of the backfield. He's a generational running back. His talent is off the charts. So if Arthur Smith uses him the right way, uses him the wrong way, they're not going to win the division. So
you got something, Prez.
I don't know about that word generational. I think he's high.
All right.
He was drafted way too high to be, but I think he was high. I don't know about generational.
I'm just using generational because everybody else is using it. My philosophy is I've got to see it on the field before I can put that tag on anybody.
Yeah.
So that's my feeling on it.
Johnny, we'll go back to you. Atlanta wins this division if what?
If Bijan is who everybody is saying, he's going to be, and Desmond Ridder takes that next step. Like Prez said, somebody needs to unlock Kyle Pitts and remind Kyle Pitts that he's Kyle Pitts and he was picked fourth for a reason. I love London. So they got some pieces there. They do got a backup in Heineke, if they have to go to it. But I love the Jesse Bates pickup. The offensive lineman out of Syracuse is a good player. Like, I like Atlanta. Arthur Smith, they're going to run the ball. So they're not going to ask Desmond Ridder to win them ball games. They're going to ask him to manage the ball game. He's got some weapons there that he can get to. But if Bijan Robinson is just average and he can't help the offense, I don't think they can win the division. They can win the division if that defense steps up again. I'm leaning more towards the defenses in this division. Atlanta picked up some good pieces on the defense. They still got Grady Jarrett in the middle of that defensive line. If that defense can step up and play good to combine with a good running attack from Atlanta, because I thought they should have won the division last year. If Desmond Ridder doesn't completely shit the bed and he can actually, make some plays and the defense steps up, I think Atlanta could win that division.
Sam, I'm going to ask you this first. Is this like Tennessee? Like, I don't know. Is it like, is Georgia, I guess, north or south of Tennessee? They guys are like connected, I guess. Is this the NFC Titans? Because, right? They're connected. Tennessee.
Yeah, they touch.
That's what I mean.
But they're below. This is below. Right.
This is Tennessee, Georgia line, your newest country music artist, right?
Either way, is this Tennessee Titans of the NFC? Because a lot of former Titans plus, Arthur's there.
Yeah, it very well could be. He's Arthur was very beloved here. He was here over 20 years. Started out getting coffee and then worked his way up. And I love Arthur Smith. I wish nothing but the best for him in Atlanta. But yeah, I think he just goes with the people he knows, and that's just spending a lot of time in Tennessee with those people. So he brings them there because they know what he wants from them, and he knows what he can get from them in return.
Including Cousins, Ed.
Yep. Anyway.
So Atlanta wins the division if what, Sam?
Atlanta wins the division if that. I'm with Johnny. That defense has to step up. There were too many times last season they let people get by them. They've got to get pressure, and they've got to get with that pressure create turnovers. So I think that defense has got to step up.
They don't win the division if what?
Probably the same thing. Bijan needs to do his thing. Arthur Smith, use creative ways. For the running back, the big, deep play action passes that wide receivers and tight ends both got open for and feasted on the field. So, I think Bijan, if he's not up to snuff, and he's just getting plugged all the time or making bad decisions, offense isn't going to do much.
Tanner, what about you?
Ashton, you said there's no holes in this team. I'm looking at the New York Giants wide receiver core right now. All right, it's the same damn thing. Okay,
They don't got Drake London.
Ain't got no Drake.
it's the same thing, dude. It's
Nah. Drake London's better.
Drake London's a baller, bro. He's a good player.
Yeah, Drake London's better
I
than
didn't buy him last year.
anything.
Probably not buying him this year.
I'm not going with downtown.
Pass.
Defense. So the Atlanta Falcons win.
Be told, get that one.
You got vetoed. You heard him.
All
Get
right.
the stamp out.
The Falcons win this division if the defense is top 10. That means the offense is doing something right. Okay,
That's solid.
what it is. Has to be top 10. That means they're causing issues on the defensive side, and the offense is allowing them to rest. Right, they're getting long drives in, but they're working the ball down the field and not turning the ball over. The Atlanta Falcons lose the division if Scotty Miller has 800 yards. That means everybody else
Right.
craps.
Oh, Scotty needs.
Scotty
Scotty
does not need to be your 800-yard leading receiver.
I hope he is. I like Scotty,
Right.
even though he killed us in the
Right.
NFC Championship game a few years ago.
I want him to hover around the 5. The 5 means that Matt Collins has the 8, and that means Drake London's nearing the 1,000. That's what that means. If Scotty is in the 8, that means London's hurt. Matt Collins might be maybe hovering around the 1,000 or hovering around 8 as well. I don't want that. I want Scotty in the 5s. That means good things are happening.
Yeah, that should mean good things for Kyle Pitts too. If Scotty's down in the 5,
That's great. And don't forget, Jonnu Smith is there too. So,
Ooh, Jonnu, yeah, that's Scott how Jonnu is.
This is a Belichick's offense, okay?
Well, I was about to say that was Jonnu in New England. Jonnu was actually a good player.
Everybody's
In Tennessee, he was pretty good.
I will say this to Tanner's point.
Yeah, that's why everybody
Johnny-
moves here.
Johnny-
Everybody
when
leaves
Johnny
fucking
Smith had his
Ohio to
best
come
year.
here. So
And Tanner knows this full well, and everybody. Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator. He knows how to use Jonnu in the best possible way.
Yeah.
So I agree. Jonnu could have a really good year this year.
correct.
I think Atlanta wins the division if that defense, like you guys have said all along, just continues to step up. I like their off. They have such a good young offensive core. Ritter, Robinson. I even still like Tyler Algier, Drake London, Kyle Pitts.
That includes their offensive line too, bro.
Yeah. Can this team go? Can it go now with Desmond Ritter? He's dipped his toes in the water last year, got the 4 games, right? So now it's time to see if he can go the full length. I think this team can win the division if that defense can just stop some people, man. That'll be the key. If their defense is in the top 15, that's when we can say they can win this division. If they don't win this division, if their defense is in the bottom 15, sitting around 20 or so, they're not going to win this division. But if it's 15 or above, they're going to win this division. We got one more team here before we start making our picks for who's going to win this dang thing. It's none other than the Saints.
Scott, wait.
Out.
Scott's going to give us fantasy and betting.
Oh yeah. You're right. Sorry. Go ahead. Thanks for reminding me, Tanner. Scott, go ahead.
Fantasy goal is Drake London as wide receiver. If he ascends to the wide receiver he finished off last year, he's going to be a top 20 wide receiver in the NFL and in fantasy too. Yeah. The betting angle is Bijan Robinson over or under 1,100.5 yards. The over is plus 100. The under is minus 120. I think he's.
What are you taking, Scott? What are you looking at there?
I'm looking at 8 to 900 yards for Bijan running the ball. I think he's going to do a lot of damage catching the ball.
And I think Algier is going to still run the ball too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Arthur Smith. I mean,
Plus
Bijan is going to be the man.
Yeah.
Bijan's going to be the man, but they're not going to try to run him into the ground.
As the press said, Cordarrelle Patterson's going to be both a running back and slot receiver for them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to get some catches and he's going to get some run. So.
Yeah.
And all right, now we got the Saints, our last and final team here. Out is the experiment of Jameis. I guess Jameis Winston's the backup.
Still
Andy
there.
Dalton is gone. Yeah, Jameis is still the backup. But in comes Derek Carr, Foster Moreau. I don't even know if he's playing because he got cancer, I thought.
He's playing. He's playing.
He's
Okay.
Plays back.
participating.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Kalen Saunders, Nathan Shepard. Nobody outside of those two. Out is Marcus Davenport and Andy Dalton, who we just talked about. In the draft, drafted defensive lineman Brian Breesy out of Clemson, Isaiah Folksy out of Notre Dame, Kendra Miller out of TCU. A lot of people are high on him right now. And then Nick Savariti out of Old Dominion. So, Sam, I'm going to start with you. What do you think about the Aints? Let me start with the Prez, as always, our guest first.
Fine.
Go ahead, Prez. The Saints win this division if what?
What's up now? Because you was going in and out real quick.
Oh, sorry. If the Saints win this division if what?
You don't want to.
Did you get us?
Michael Thomas and Olave need to be like Chris Carter too.
Okay.
We're losing on.
What was that?
I think we're losing you. It's usually me, but I think everybody can. We miss you. What'd you say? The Saints win this division if what? Uh-oh.
I think he's freezing.
Think we lost the president.
Well, where'd you lose him? He's not there.
There he goes. There he goes.
You got me now?
Hey, Prez. Yeah, we're good. I think so. Hey, the Saints win this division if what, Prez?
I think it's time to go back to Sam.
Yeah.
All right, Sam. We lost the president. We lost the president.
Better recognize step to me. See what happens.
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of question marks on this team. I've never been a big Derek Carr believer, mostly because he starts out hot and then he gets painfully cold later in the season. I don't know about.
Will you come back, please, Mr. President?
Hey, shut his mic off. Shut his mic off. Anyway, so but I Michael Thomas, is he still got it? I don't know. If they spent a lot of draft pieces on defense, maybe it'll be fine. But I just feel very uneasy when I look at the Saints. That's how I feel. I feel uneasy. I don't know if I can trust Dennis Allen. I don't think I can trust Derek Carr from what I've seen so far. But they're kind of an enigma to me, but I don't have good hopes for them winning the division.
So when they don't win the division if what? You didn't even tell us really if they win the division.
Oh, I thought you were just asking me about the Saints in general. I'm sorry. Okay, well, damn.
Playing the game here. The game that you wanted to play.
How many weeks have we been doing this, Sam?
Why? Just 2, obviously. Anyway, the Saints, would you ask me, lose? If they lose the division, they lose the division if Derek Carr cannot get it together. That's what I think. I think they lose it if Derek Carr can't get it together.
They win the division if what?
They win the division if the defense helps them out a whole lot. That's how I see it. I think I'm with you guys a lot on this. I feel like these defenses in this division really need to step up. If the Saints division steps up and helps out the offense, if they get in any trouble, they'll be good.
All right, Prez, you back with us?
Yeah, man.
All right. Hey, the Saints win the division if what, Prez?
Well, I was saying if Mike Thomas and Chris Olave could be like Randy Moss, Chris Carter 2.0.
Ooh, that's a high task, but yeah, I'll agree with that.
I like
it.
They
don't win. They don't win the division if what, Prez?
They don't win the division if Jamal Williams must go.
Oh.
They got Jamal Williams on team to score touchdowns because, I mean, that's what he does. He's a red zone beast. He's what he's on. If they get him the ball 3 and he's not getting in, they give him the ball 5, he's not getting in, they kick it field goal instead of touchdown. Still lose a bitch like that.
All right, Johnny, what about you here?
All right. I mean, obviously missing Kamara for the first. Is it 3 or 6? Did we figure?
3.
We know
3
that
games.
3 games.
3 games.
But like you mentioned, they got Jamal Williams. I like the fact that they stacked up on the defense. You know, they got a defensive-minded head coach. I'm gonna say they win the division if Olave takes the next step. If Mike Thomas, comes out of hiding. If Jamal Williams can score some touchdowns like he did in Detroit. If that offense. This is the only one where I'm going the other way. If the offense can actually, because their defense is solid.
Ooh.
If the offense can actually play well, if Derek Carr can play well, not turn the ball over, they can establish some kind of running game. They got Olave and company. If they can step it up on offense, I think they can win the division because I expect the defense to be solid. They lose the division if that defense underperforms. If that defense doesn't take another step and play even better than they did last year, then I don't think they have any shot because I don't think they're going to put up too many points on the offensive side of the ball. So if the defense doesn't play up to snub, then they're not going to win the division.
Tanner, let me ask you this before you go. Are you surprised they brought in Kareem Hunt for a workout? Because all tales say they got Jamal, we know Kamara's getting suspended, but they love this Martin kid. He's supposed to be able to do everything that Kamara could do.
Yeah, they love Miller, which I was surprised
Miller.
that they even bothered.
Miller, yeah.
But maybe they're concerned that they don't have nothing past Miller right now, with Kirk Merritt or Ellis Weather. So maybe there's some concern there. Maybe there's concern about Kamara as well or somebody else. So I believe Kendra Miller also was banged up a little bit during training camp last week. So that's also maybe something they were just, hey, let's just bring him in. Let's see what Kareem looks like. We'll go from there. Right. So
I thought they signed him at first. I thought they signed him, and then
they were expected to sign him. Yeah,
and then they didn't. He went to Indy for a workout,
and then Irsay offered him 3 cigarettes and a 12-pack of Coke. And
he's got to save that money to save the whales. Irsay's trying to save whales, folks.
Oh man, I love it, dude. Anyways, let's get back to it. Kamara, with the 3 games.
Yeah.
No, it makes you think like if you're looking at signing Kareem, it makes you think that you're really looking into trading now the mortgage, like coming off him for whatever reason. It makes you think that you're considering getting rid of Alvin Kamara if you think about bringing in a Kareem.
Because you would have to think about getting rid of Kamara in order to bring a Hunt, because you'd have to have Hunt for the season. Essentially, that's what your goal would be.
The Saints are one of the worst teams in cap space. They're in cap space hell right now as well. So Tanner, the Saints win this division if what?
Health. They stay healthy. That's all they got to do. They got to stay healthy. They improved. I think they got a little younger in defense. They stole my guy Colin Saunders. That I'm still sad about, on top of Tano Passanio. Both my Chiefs guys I liked, and they're gone in the Saints. So, but the offense I think got better. You have a more established quarterback with Derek Carr in warm weather, in domes. He doesn't have to play in the freaking cold. Kind of hoping though he has PTSD on Sunday when he faces the Chiefs for one drive, or his one series. But outside of that, your running game's better. Jamal Williams, Kamara, and Kendra Miller. I think you can go either way with them. As far as Foster Moreau's anything remotely close to what he should be, that's a Derek Carr connection by itself. Watch for that connection in the fantasy.
Well, they also brought in Jimmy Graham. 80-year-old Jimmy Graham's back.
He's back, baby.
Whatever, dude. Don't worry about it.
One hand Jimmy Graham. That's what I was going to call him.
He'll be your fourth tight end. But yeah, I mean, that's what it is. They got to stay healthy. Michael Thomas stays healthy. The receivers, the line, Derek Carr, the running backs, everybody, the defense. Marshawn Lattimore has to be looking good again on that. Bradley Roby, Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, these guys have to stay healthy. They lose the division. If they lose 3 to 4 key pieces on this team. So that's Michael Thomas.
That's already a wrap.
Right. Well, maybe. That could be a Kamara. That's also a DeMario Davis. And either Marcus May or Tyrann Mathieu. I think if you lose any of those kind of pieces right there, you're in trouble. You lose this division because you lose your leadership on the team that is desperately needed, especially after Sean Payton left.
Yeah, I think the Saints win this division if Mike Thomas actually plays, 14 games. If he can play 14 games, that they can win this division. They don't win this division if Derek Carr. If they don't win, I don't know. I don't really know if they don't win. They don't win this division if Derek Carr gets hurt and they got to go to Jameis Winston, or if Derek Carr plays like he does half the time. He's got to improve. He's got to say, "Hey, this is on me." Put everything in the past. He's got a lot of offensive weapons. Olave, Thomas, but so we'll see on the Saints here. Let's go ahead. We're going to start making our picks. We're going to start with the fourth. Or Scott, give us your betting game angle here and fantasy for the Saints real quick.
So the fantasy angle is Derek Carr at quarterback. Can Derek Carr come over, stabilize the position, get the ball to Thomas and Olave, and when Kamara comes back, is he going to be able to dump the ball off to Kamara? I don't know if he can do it or not, but he's going to have to find a way. Betting angle is very easy. Saints to win the division, plus 120 if you think they're going to.
All right. Okay, well, that leads us right into our next segment. This is where we're going to pick the division. We're going to start with the fourth place team. Yeah.
We talked about Tampa Bay earlier, right? Let me know something about anybody. I trade deadline, right? Let's say Tampa Bay is 3 wins, maybe by trade deadline, maybe 4. Let's say 3 wins by trade deadline. And I'm with the Baker Mayfield and Kyle. And they know that either one of them is what they want. Can you see a Trey Lance move to Tampa Bay?
I hope so. I hope Trey Lance gets traded. Yeah, I really do. I hope he's traded.
I don't know that Tampa has the assets to. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they do either. I don't think.
I hope it's Tampa Bay. I hope it's your Atlanta. I hope he gets out of San Francisco, anywhere but San Francisco, and I hope Brock Purdy balls out in San Francisco.
The reason why I say that is because I don't see another plan for the future. What I'm saying is that because if they're winning, they got 3 or 4 games by the trade deadline. They probably still at the bottom of the division, but they're not in the Caleb. They're not in the sweet at the Caleb at that point.
Yeah, I can see that.
The draft you get. So they wouldn't have really a plan for the future yet. So I'm wondering, could they make up actually given that when they traded for? Or now they maybe go after Trey Lance? To me, that seems to be a team that will want to go after something that could potentially be a bust because Trey Lance has a little. Actually, but he didn't really look too good anyway.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Purdy probably go ball. Wow, he's already into the system, so it's like, I don't see him Darnold as a backup already. Everybody knows this. So I'm just wondering, is that a situation where you think?
Definitely. I could see that if they don't feel like they're going to get in the Caleb Williams or the May kid. I could definitely see a trade for Trey Lance or somebody like that. We'll go ahead and jump into the division here. Hey, Prez, give me your 4th place team, the team you got finishing 4th. Tampa. Johnny?
Uh-oh.
Johnny.
Oh, there's noise going on.
My bad. Yeah, I got Tampa in 4th place as well. I got them with 7 wins.
7 wins in 4th place? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I'm telling you, I think they'll win some games. I think Baker Mayfield will convert back to Baker Mayfield. I think they might start off okay, but I think they'll get up to 7 wins.
Scott, what about you?
I got Tampa at 4-13.
Sam?
Tampa 3-14.
Tanner?
Tampa 7 wins.
Ooh,
Both of you.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
we're all in on Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay finishing fourth. I only got 5 wins. What is that, 5-12 or is that 17?
Yeah, 5-12.
5-12, baby. That's right. We'll figure this math situation out one day.
Math is hard.
We haven't figured out. You'll figure it out someday.
My brain is still triggered to 16 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
I was the same way last Thursday. I get it.
I'm going to be like that for probably the next 10 years. So,
Grandpa, it's not a 16-game season anymore.
by that time, they'll probably have 20-game season.
All right.
Prez, who do you got finishing third here? New Orleans. All right. Hey, Tanner, we'll go back to you here. Who you got?
Here, I actually got the Falcons.
Oh.
Sam? Wait, what was the record you got for the Falcons there, Tanner?
So Bucks are 7. So the Falcons are also 7, just with the tiebreaker.
Okay. They're both finished 7-10 for the second year in a row. Sam, what about you?
Panthers 7-10.
Scott?
Panthers 9-8.
Oh, what is going on in this division?
9-8 in the third place. I got the Panthers also in third place, but I got them 7-10, and they'll have the tiebreaker over Tampa Bay. I think Carolina's third and Tampa's fourth. They both have 7 wins.
I got the Panthers as well at third. I got them at 7-10 as well this year.
Rock on, brother.
All right. Prez, who you got at second place?
Carolina.
How many wins you got them with?
9.
9 wins. Scott, we'll go with you. Who you got in second?
I got New Orleans at 9-8. I think they beat Carolina twice. That's why they're in second.
Tanner?
Second place is the Panthers, and they'll be sitting at 8 wins on that one.
Sam?
Saints 8-9.
Johnny?
I got the Saints 9-8.
9-8. I'm with you, Johnny. I got the Saints at 9-8. Second place team here. Hammer it home, baby.
Yeah.
Prez,
Left side of this is all the same. 9-8.
Who you got here?
Atlanta.
First place team. Who's winning this? Who's winning this division? Atlanta. What? How many wins?
ATL shot it.
11 wins.
11.
I think the division will have 11 wins in 10 weeks.
All right. Go ahead,
Tanner, what about you?
All right, my turn. It is the Saints with a 10-win season.
Sam, who you got winning the NFC South?
Falcons take it with an 11-6 record.
Scott, who's winning this division?
Falcons at 12-5.
Hey!
Damn.
Gosh.
I got the Falcons as well, but I got them at 10-7.
I got the Falcons too, Johnny, at 10-7. They're winning this damn division. Tanner's on the island by himself. The Atlanta Falcons are your NFC South Division playoffs. We'll see you in the playoffs, Atlanta. Arthur Smith, Coach of the Year. That's also my prediction, baby. Hammer it home.
Keep the receipts, baby. Keep the receipts.
All right. I'm a little concerned because you and Johnny are copying each other's homework.
Hey, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike.
Absolutely.
Ashton, hey, before we get you out of here, where can everybody catch you at, brother?
I'm not really doing much right now. Whatever LTS want me to do, whatever shows that's me, I'm there. I'm available. So I think I got stuff coming up, in a couple of months, but busy. Stay tuned.
Nice.
Nice.
Good deal.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us, Ashton. Give it up, everybody, for none other than the future president of the United States, one other than Ashton Booker T. Can you dig it, sucker?
Nice.
Ashton, appreciate you, buddy.
Be safe, bro. Have a good night, man.
See you, man. All right.
All right.
See you, bud.
Well, let's go ahead. We'll get our final thoughts, and we'll get the hell out of here.
What? Oh, all right.
You guys got something else to talk about?
What?
I don't know.
No, I'm good with that. I gotta pull
the
up
hell,
12-hour
guys?
shifts. I gotta pull up
12
12-hour
wins,
shift tomorrow.
11
so.
wins. What are we talking about? The Kansas City Chiefs over here?
Right.
Oh,
That's
but
what I'm
that's-
saying. That's a lot of wins, man. I got them at,
You got my. I'm still waiting to place this bet on the Packers that you just still won't. The fact that you won't bet on it yet, I mean, it gets my blood boiling. I mean, every time I'm like, I need you to lay down this bet.
That's why he's doing it. Look at him. He's enjoying it.
So we can go.
I don't think the NFC is that strong, so I can see them with 11 wins.
Yeah, I think
This division is wild, and
Right.
this conference stinks. So
I mean, it was fun. It was definitely fun, though.
Could it be the worst? Like we said, the AFC South, respectfully, and rightly so, was the weakest division. Do you think they can come out of this year being the weakest division, the NFC South?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well,
I got a feeling.
Yeah,
I mean, the West could be crappy if the Rams act like the Rams from last year and Seattle, Geno Smith comes back down to reality. Arizona, we know it's going to be garbage.
Oh yeah, Arizona might be the worst team.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right, Johnny. I was just thinking
it's possible.
Like, this,
but I mean,
this,
yeah, this division here, I got them all set. Like I said, I got Carolina and Tampa at 7 wins, New Orleans at 9, and then Atlanta at 10. So they're all right there, just like last year. So
I think Kale said it.
It's gonna be a bloodbath, just like last year. It was.
Yeah, they're gonna beat down on each other. Yep, they're gonna beat down on each other.
I think Kale said it best. I think earlier in the comments, this is the most wide open division to me, where you can literally make a case for all 4 teams to win this thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't see Tampa winning.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
other
all
than
you gotta do is
Tampa.
execute. You have one of the best defenses still. Linebackers in the front 7. All you gotta do is get Evans and Godwin, the ball and reduce your turnovers. Don't have turnovers. You can win.
Yeah, but that's hard to say that when you got Baker Mayfield as your quarterback.
You're talking about Desmond Ritter throwing to the New York Giants receivers and still having 10 wins.
I don't expect Desmond Ritter. I don't expect
Mike Evans and Godwin.
I don't expect Desmond Ritter to throw the ball a lot.
I think it's all been.
I think they're gonna run the ball. I mean, that's what Arthur Smith wants to do. He wants to run the ball, play defense.
Run the ball, and that's it.
Run the ball, play defense.
Deep play
don't turn the ball over.
He schemed people open in Tennessee. He'll scheme people open in Atlanta.
There's still the unknown of Ritter, so I can kind of hope on that because it's still unknown. Like we know what Baker Mayfield is, bro.
Hey, you know what they say,
You know
Johnny?
what I'm
Hope
saying?
in one hand and shit in the other one. Tell me which one fills up faster.
Did you have Taco Bell before you did it? We have variables. We have to figure this out. Math, we've already confirmed math is hard. Okay, so let's make sure we write it out.
It'll still fill up faster than Hope, whether you had Taco Bell or not, Sam.
All right. Shucks.
All right, final thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead, Johnny. Get us out of here with your final thoughts.
This was another fun show. I'm loving these divisional things that we're doing each week. Looking forward to see what the super producer Tanner lines up for next Thursday. Do we know what we're covering next Thursday yet?
AFC
Tanner?
West. Rob Logan will be on.
Nice. That's definitely going to be a good one there. That's definitely a must watch there. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash the like, click on that little bell so you get notifications. Did you want me to do a quick read before we get up out of here?
Oh yeah.
Good call. I guess we could. Yeah.
All right, so I'll let you know about our friends over at Owner's Box, the Owner's Box daily fantasy app. Make sure you use the promo code LTS, and they will match you up to I still can't believe that. They will match you up to $500 on your first deposit. And you don't have to put down $500. You want to put down $100, $200, whatever. But they will match you up to $500. Just make sure you use the promo code LTS. And make sure, again, download the Owner's Box daily fantasy app. More chances to win because they have much more games. Definitely check them out. Our friends over at Owner's Box daily fantasy app. Make sure you use the promo code LTS for a matching deposit up to $500.
Ooh,
all right. Scott, who we betting on tomorrow night, buddy?
We haven't gone through the bets yet. So look at my Twitter account. I'm going to take the Braves on the money line. They just lost 2 or 3 to Pittsburgh. They're going to be swarming
They're
mad.
gonna be.
They lost 2 or 3
tomorrow.
to the Cubs before that too. Remember that?
Yeah, they're going to be swarming mad tomorrow night. So I'm taking them.
Who they playing tomorrow?
To me, it doesn't matter who they play, but I can get you that.
Okay, all right. So ATL, go ahead.
Wait,
My apologies for cutting you off.
Chop
Go
on,
ahead.
Scott. Chop on.
Okay, who else?
Atlanta is playing the Mets.
Hey, Matt.
Oh yeah,
They won. They won.
Yep.
What? The money line or what?
Money line.
Okay.
I am taking the Tampa Bay Rays. They are playing the Cleveland Guardians. The return of Aaron Savali to Cleveland against the Guardians. So, revenge factor.
Take that, Sam.
And
It hurts. It hurts, Dad.
one tip on bets that you look at. If there is a over underline in the NFL preseason of high 30s to low 40s, take the under. The over under for the Patriots game tonight was 38.5. It finished at 29. So you go under in any high over under preseason NFL games because teams aren't looking to score; they're just looking to see what guys can do. That's
So what would be the cutoff number?
I'd say about 36. If it's
36?
above 36, you go under.
Okay,
Like-
and that raise was it the money line against
Money
Guardians?
line. Yep, money line.
Johnny's trying to pay the mortgage here, so
Bro, I gotta, yeah, man. I
don't
need some,
think
I need
that
some
run
money.
lines-
I got bills to
what
pay.
was
I gotta
that?
get a
What
new
was
car
that?
registered and everything.
I generally don't bet run lines because it's a very dangerous thing to bet a run line and think it's gonna come out. So I usually go money line, unless it's way up high, like minus 300 or something. Then I'll come off of that. So,
Nice. All right.
but at work last night, I got to watch all of Tanner's fantasy football after dark, and they're really, really good. You're going to get a lot of information out of it. So tune in tonight. I'm sure Tanner's going to be on after the show, and just watch it and take out the nuggets that Tanner gives while he's doing the draft. So shout out to Tanner. Tanner,
Are you joining, Scott?
I am joining tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing
I was about to
awesome.
say I'm gonna be in the draft too, bro. I'll be in the draft there.
Sweet. We're doing a sleeper mock, so
Okay.
I have no idea what the hell that means, bro.
just same thing we did Friday last week.
Okay.
And Nick, good luck to your Cubs this weekend. I hope they win 2 out of 3.
Me too. Sam, go ahead.
A little bit of sad news. Johnny Hardwick, the voice of Dale from King of the Hill, has passed away at the age of 64.
Peace and peace.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow.
He was so funny, and he did a great job on that show. If you ever have a chance to watch a stand-up, do it. And remember, every time you watch King of the Hill, just to think of the joyous times he brought us all.
Nice.
But on another note, it's another week closing out here. Friday's around the corner. Finish it strong.
Yep.
I mean, don't just cash it in. Finish it strong. Carry it into the weekend. Work hard, play hard, everybody.
True
Work
that.
hard, play hard, work hard.
Work
Tanner,
hard, pray hard.
Let's see here, guys. Final thoughts. We're covering the best.
Yeah.
And the best team next week.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Jeez. I'm putting him in last place out of
What else
spite.
could I say? I mean, there's nothing else.
Tanner, here's a question, Tanner. 3 out of 4 guests we've had have picked their own team. Does Rob Logan pick the Chargers next week?
no.
Hell no.
Rob's smarter
Hell
than
no.
that. Rob's smarter than that.
Rob's more realistic. Rob's realistic, man.
He'll stare at you with those cold, dead eyes and say, absolutely not. Do you hear me?
He'll ask you who the coach is first, and then pick his team. That's what he'll do. So, final thoughts, guys. I mean, I don't know. Just keep rolling, keep going. We got lots of cool stuff happening. Football season's
Absolutely.
here. What else?
Yes.
What else can I say? It's about to be a madhouse,
You can
even
say,
more.
Yeah.
In this place. So let's roll.
Can I say one more thing before you go, Nick?
Go ahead,
Shout out-
Scott.
Shout out to Dan Harris. I've been talking to him
Absolutely.
off and
I was
on
thinking
for the
that.
last 3 or 4 days.
Shout out to Dan.
He's not doing great. He's fighting to get through days. But shout out to Dan. Dan, I hope you're doing better today. I haven't heard from him, so I just wanted to shout that out.
Much love. I texted with him a little earlier today. He's gonna keep on fighting, and he's still He's still producing. He's still lining up guests. I mean,
yeah, he is.
He's still busting his ass, even though he's, going through what he's going through. So yeah, definitely shout out to the man himself.
Shout out to our Make-A-Wish friend, Alan Perales' 1 year appointment, 1 year on LTS.
Oh, congratulations, Alan!
Johnny, do you want to make the announcement? Do you want to make the announcement?
Oh, Zing, my man. Zing.
Next week's Scott Cobe show.
Yes.
Is Ed in Columbus.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is going to be must watch right there, people. Definitely check that one out.
No way.
That's going to be fun, man.
Yep.
Yeah. That's going to be a blast.
I'm in for that one.
Dan sent me a message, and I was quick to send it back to him. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's going
to
be fun.
Would you like Ed and Yes. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So
what time? Is it midnight? It doesn't matter.
Next Thursday, 7 p.m. A little appetizer with Ed right before the LTS show. Next Thursday at 9 p.m. when we talk about the AFC West and Tanner's. I'm sure he's gonna pick his Chiefs, but.
I got rid of all my cheat stuff. Sorry.
He's got Falcons 10-7. Yeah, he's basically got the same thing. Oh, I don't got the Bucks, only 3 wins, but the same order, pretty much the same for everybody. This Sunday, 9:00, right? Got a nice cruising top 5 for us. We should have some fun with that. It's gonna take us all back to our childhoods.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
On this cruising top 5.
I don't want to go back. Can't wait for that.
It's the good part. It's the good part. Not the parts where you had to worry about.
Not the part where you and the priest were alone in the room, Sam.
Right.
We call them reverends where I'm from.
The priest won't hurt you anymore, Sam. I promise.
It's let's ride, not let's go. Don't you listen to Russell Wilson last year?
Yeah, and wow.
Well, let's ride out of here. This has been another great LTS show. I love all y'all. Love you. Hey, my advice is love your children, love yourselves, love the people in your life, man. And that's it, Absolutely. Man. We'll see you. We'll see you Sunday morning. It's been another great LTS show. We'll be back Sunday morning, 8 a.m., 9 Eastern, Sunday morning. Little cruising top 5, and God knows what else is happening. So. We'll see you then. Be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. Tanner, get that outro, baby. Let's get out of here.
You play your music on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Do it. Money ain't for nothing, and your chicks for free.
Life better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep, only scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no.